I wanted to go over today the things with you guys like what is it that you need to know 100% before you invest in real estate? And that's important because a lot of times when I speaking to investors who want to invest money or they want to do it themselves, when I'm like, what do you want to do? And they have no idea. So it's either you don't know or you do know, but either way, you got to know because if you know, then you know what not to do. So I'm going to go over what you need to know. So the first thing you need to know before you invest in a deal, and I'm talking multifamily real estate, not single family houses and flips and wholesaling, small deals, things like that. I'm talking about multifamily commercial sized real estate, right? Big deals, small deals, doesn't matter. But the number one most important thing, and I need you to know this before I tell you the other stuff, the most important thing you got to focus on, number one, or number one this way, doesn't matter. I'll cross them up, is the deal, is the most important. I'm gonna star that. The deal is the most important thing you got to know before you invest in real estate. You have to understand what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, why that deal, because the deal drags off everything, drags into play everything else. A lender, the debt, they're going to look at the deal. If they don't like that deal, they ain't going to do it. You can't raise money, or you're going to use your own money. It has to be the deal has to be good. That is the number one priority, even if you have a ton of money. Let's say you have millions of dollars. If you get the wrong deal, your millions of dollars is going to go to goose egg, just like that. So as you're looking at the deal, which leads me to the next stuff, you have to know the location. Have to know your location. Here, is it an A location, a B, a C, a D? Is it a war zone? Are people walking around with guns and stuff? Or let's say they're not, but it's a D location, meaning like it's an old location. People are leaving there. It's bad. There's crime. There's a bunch of low income stuff, Section 8. Like that's important. Now, if that's the type of investment you want to make, go for it. That's not what I would tell you. The whole goal with investing in real estate is to double and triple your money. And it needs to happen over long periods of time. You can't do that if you're in a bad location because you're investing in an asset, a deal, and that deal is going to have to support the investment. And if the location brings the deal down, you can change the deal, but you cannot change the location. So location is primary when you're thinking about investing. You got to know the location. So next, cash flow. It has to cash flow. Real estate, investing in real estate, whether you're doing it yourself or you're doing it with somebody else, is a business. You're buying business level assets or investing money in business level assets. If there's no cash flow, it doesn't work. It's not an asset, it's a liability. And when I say cash flow, I mean the income minus the expenses minus the debt. And what's left over after the debt is your cash flow, even after your reserves. That goes to you, that goes to your investors, or that goes to our investors. It has to have a positive cash flow in your deal. Negative cash flow, no good, right? You don't want to look at any deals that's not cash flowing. So that is important because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get this deal. Like, even when I do single family houses, when I'm like buying, turning, and burning single family houses, I made sure that the that property itself maintained itself while we were selling. There was no payments, there was no nothing. Even though there was no cash flow, my responsibility went down. So now the noose is on my neck. But when you're doing multifamily, that is not the game. It is a cash flow game. It has to cover the debt. Next, and you need to know the upside. What is the upside of the deal? Boom. Is it going to make money? How much money? Right? You don't get into multifamily again, investing in real estate, period, for to lose money. Nobody does. As a matter of fact, everybody gets into real estate investing to build wealth. You buy businesses and acquire businesses really to make big, heavy cash flows because there's more cash flow buying a business because it's just a pig. It just spits out money. Real estate is stable, it's heavy, but there needs to be an upside. You got to know where that upside is, whether you're going to raise the rents, whether you're going to do some value add, whether you're going to do a long-term hold and raise the rents over time, whether you're going to force appreciation, which is the value add, so you're going to make the property better, raise the income, or lower the expenses, and that is the upside because that raises the appreciation, raises the value of that property. You can force it, but you need to know what that is. And here's the other thing you got to know: what's the downside? What is your, let's say your break even on this deal. Let's say your break even occupancy ratio is 87% and all the properties around it operate at 90. If if your property drops 2% or whatever, drops 3%, you are going to be at break even. Can you live with that? Let's say you need to be at, let's say your property doesn't do well. Let's say there's a fire. It's a 200 unit property or 100 unit property or a 10 unit property, and there's a flood, and five of your units are down, and you're waiting. You have to do the renovation. You have to do all the stuff, get it treated, and all the other things that are going to be required for you to go back and get a certificate of occupancy again once it's done. Um, can you live with that? Do you want to hold that property for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months? You got to know the downside. You got to be able to say, yes, that's all associated with, do you love this deal? The deal has to be like a killer deal. And does it match all these other things? Because if you lose your cash flow, the upside is now gone because you're in downside mode. Do you even still want it? You have to know that, like, know in your gut, yeah, dude, I want this because I'm willing to wait because somebody else is going to always want this from me. You got to know that. And next, you got to know, like, scale. Are the meaning the number of units that's going to go off? Boom. Anyways, you get it. Like, is it big enough? Like, if it only has one door, no go. Is it 2 units? Nah, you're getting close. Like, like that's a problem. You lose a unit, you lose a tenant, and it goes right back to being one unit again. It's a single family. 3 units, 4 units, 16 units if you're just starting off is perfect. 16 units, 32 units is better than that. If you're in a high price market, like I've been in high price markets, California, Hawaii, I bought in Texas, I bought in Arizona, like all these other, not Arizona, but Vegas, all these other places, like the number of units matter. So scale matters, but scale matters in the market. Like in Hawaii, you can buy a 10 unit deal or a 17 unit deal, and that's a decent sized apartment building deal because they don't have a lot of multifamily product. So 10 units there is good. That's the equivalent of buying a 30 unit deal at some in some other state, especially for cost per door. But you got to know what is your scale, like what's the right size deal for you. And if you miss that, if you don't know, you will lose money, right? Because this is about what you like knowing. Like, how do you know? Like, and you gotta really be committed to this. Like I said, multifamily is a business. Um, Next, you got to know, again, this goes back into knowing this is a long-term deal, right? Long term. You're going to be in it long term. It's a commitment for you. Matter of fact, I like to just tell people it's a hold. Just commit for 10 years. Even if you're not in it for 10 years, commit for 10 years. I'd rather look at something and be like, yeah, I'd do that for 10 years. Yep, I'll eat the downside for a couple of years. If I had no cash flow for 2 years because we had a problem, waiting on insurance, waiting on renovations, and we got to do a lease up because we had to evacuate people, do I still want this deal? And I'm going to hold it for 10 years. So I'm going to hit a snag. It's going to recover. We're going to work our ass off to fix it. Yeah, I still want it. I do. Why? Because I believe a bank, an institution, some company from Wall Street, some private equity fund, some sovereign wealth fund, they're going to come along and buy my portfolio. And I still want that in our portfolio for Bell Capital. That needs to be a decision for you. You got to know that before you invest in anything. You got to know, 100% know. All right. So, and then the debt. What's the debt? Right? Can this deal hold debt? What is going to be the debt? Which means if you don't, goes back to cash flow, you got to also know the NOI, which means you also got to be able to understand the underwriting. What can the asset you're investing in support? Can it support good debt? Right now, the debt's not as friendly. I think today debt's probably five and a quarter, 5.75, which is still good enough, right? Because commercial debt on the average ranges from about 4.75. You might be able to get less. But anyways, do you know the debt? You need to know. Because if the NOI can't support the debt, you're either going to have to buy at a lower price, you're going to have to put more money down if it checks all these other boxes, but you need to know that. Do you have a debt broker? Do you have a commercial guy that does commercial financing? Who can you go to? Is it your local bank? Is it your regional bank? Um, Fannie, Freddie, a life insurance company? What? Private lender, seller financing? How much debt can it support? And I have to say this about seller financing if you know multifamily. If you get into a multifamily deal, because someone was talking about this the other day online, and the seller does financing, depending on the type of financing, you need to know whether when you go to get new debt on it, you can refinance it or is it a new purchase? Some people do stuff on a land contract, an agreement of sale, and it's an agreement of sale or a land contract. You may put money down with the seller, later go back, and then the bank depending on your lender, is like, you're not on title. This will be treated like a new purchase, and you gave him, 25% down, but we're underwriting based on the debt and the NOI where you are. The NOI is only going to support a certain amount of debt, and we're going to give you 60% even. So you're going to have to come up with another 10%. You need to be prepared for that. That's what I said. When you know what's the debt, what's the NOI, how long do I want to be in this thing? Can I get the debt? Does it support the debt? And do I even want it later? That's important, right? And within the debt, I kind of touch bases on it. It's a little bit, if you get confused, go back to it. But that has everything to do with leverage. $1 buys you $3, or $1 invested is worth $4. But it's associated when there's debt. If there's no debt, even though you may be buying a property, let's say and you shouldn't do this, if you had to do it, buy a property all cash. There's no leverage on the property, so it's dollar for dollar, but you're getting cash flow until you go back and put new debt on there, which gives you the leverage. And then your cash flow explodes because you get a bunch of cash back. But you got to know that that's your thing, which leads me to the last thing. What are your exits? And there's an S on the end of exits because you have to have multiple exits in a deal. That's why the deal is so important, because it's not about you, it's about who's going to buy it from you. Is it going to be a doctor, a dentist, a group of attorneys are going to buy it from you? Are you going to exit it because you're going to put together all of your properties and sell it in a portfolio sale? Are you going to refinance them, which is another exit, which we've done quite a bit? Refinance, take out your down payment, your equity, and then some, distribute it to your investors or to pull your own money out, and then hold that property as a long-term hold again, and then let the debt expire, refinance it, do it all over again, take out cash. What are you going to do? You got to know this, or you're just going to flat out sell it. Flat out sell it, refinance it, bundle it up and package it. Or what I want to do eventually is bundle up a bunch of properties, take it to a Wall Street and turn it into a REIT. That's important to know, because if you can't have this conversation, then most of this stuff doesn't matter, because most investors, like, especially if it's multifamily, you are getting cash flow. But the big thing is to be able to exit that deal at 2 to 3 times your equity, or to get an infinite return, which means that you refinance, cashed out, and then you held that property and let it cash flow, right? Which is going back to the debt. All of this stuff you got to know. If you don't know, you're going to lose money, period. So I'm going to recap this. And I stood out to the side the whole time. My bad, guys. The number one thing, the most important thing that you need to know is that the deal is the most important thing in real estate. The deal itself is the most important thing when you're investing in real estate. Multifamily real estate as an investment, whether you're doing it yourself or you're doing it with somebody else, it's not the 2x return. It's not the 15% internal rate of return. It's not the fees and all the other stuff that everybody's concerned about. It's the deal, most important. Hey, the deal, is it in a great location? Does it cash flow? What's the upside? What's the downside? Does it have enough units to support the downside and the upside? Right? This is why that's why I said the deal first. Do we want to be in this deal long term? Upside and downside, because things go wrong over 10 years, man. Think about it. If you're married, you don't think you're going to get in an argument over 10 years. You have kids, you don't think they're going to get sick in 10 years. You buy a car today and be like, I'm going to have this car forever. And that car break down along the line. You at least got to change the oil and the tires and the gas and lights. So everything's can happen, but you got to know that. And then moving with the debt. What's going on with the debt? I mean, can you get debt? Do you want the debt? How much debt? How much leverage? And then how many exits do you have? Do you have 2, 3? This is a 2x return on your money. That's not the number, but you should literally have at least 3 to 4 exits. And some of your exits are a hold. You may just refinance, get a lower interest rate, and keep the property without taking out any money and lower your interest rate, and it makes your cash flow go up, which is another exit of a deal. Just it's a hold without a cash out. So, anyways, it's important to kind of get an understanding of what you need to know before you invest, because when you know all this stuff, you can have an answer for all of these things. Then it makes your investments a lot better. See, I've been doing this since I was 24, 25 years old, right? So I think this way. But this doesn't come down in a checklist in my mind. It does, because I have it written down, like for Bell Capital, things that we look at. But this happens all at one time. I'm like, oh, I love the deal. Then once I love the deal and I love the location first, I can actually like the location better than the deal and I'll still look. But if I just like the deal, which I looked at a deal the other day and I was like, dude, love the property. It's brand new, built in 24. It's 85% occupied because it's brand new. It's being stabilized right now. It's income producing. It's coming to market. They're doing a call for offers, but the location was tough for me. I was like, dude, I can't make sense of the location. That's a developer that they make their money building, but they don't care where they build. They're like, dude, I got permits, I got entitlements. I'm gonna slap this thing up. Probably took them 2 years to do and a bunch of money. And they're like, get rid of it. The location for me, I'm not a player, even though it hits all my other markers. But you got to know all this stuff. It should be a check the box in your head. Yep, it cash flows. Yep, love the upside on the deal. Yep, I can live with the downside. I can live with the scale. Long term hold, love it. We'll do that. The debt, I can get debt on it. And if I needed to get debt, I will. Oh, the other thing too is it's got to have tax advantages. The property has to be able to benefit, and I can get tax advantages of it as an investment. And the deal has to be good enough for that, right? If it's a crappy looking deal or it's been beat to death and I got to go in and do a bunch of renovations, yes, I'll get the tax benefits, but I'm paying for that. I'd rather do accelerated depreciation or cost seg right away with a bigger property so I can spread that to my investors. But that is a part of my decision making process. And you got to know that this is what you're going to be doing if you're going to get into investing in real estate. So I hope that helps you guys. Share this video, like the video, comment on the video. Today's one of those days, man. I'm smoked, but I wanted to make a video for you guys because I promised I would. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. I'm here for both of you. I need haters too, man. If you hate what I do, man, let me know. Like I said, let me know why too, so I can address it. So, but subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. I'll keep showing up for you guys, and I hope this helps you. But invest in real estate. And if I can help you and you want to invest with us, you got to be accredited. Go to bell-capital.com and you can either schedule a call, book a call, or you can hit get started and it'll take you to the portal. You can check out everything we got, what's available, or you can text invest to 760-531-8500 and somebody, myself or somebody on my team will reach out to you because we want to do business with you, man. My goal is to make everyone that we connect with, turn everybody that we connect with into an investor, whether that you do it with us, you do it by yourself, I can help you with that, or whatever, okay? So anyways, you guys have a great day today. You guys get after it, and let's go. Boom. Are you an accredited investor with $300,000 or more liquid in the bank? I want you to come and partner with me. Look, if you love real estate, passive income, and positive cash flow, appreciation over long periods of time, and you're willing to be patient, come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com. This is for accredited investors with $300,000 or more in the bank, ready to go. Come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com.